Welcome back to Super Week TV. I'm sure you're sick of seeing me by now, but I'm going to take a little break after this. I'm Josh Silverbauer, and we have another amazing guest here. Very excited about this conversation. I have Matteo Zambon.
Oh, thank you. Hi everybody. Hi, Josh.
Hi. Matteo and I share a very special group, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that group. We are both in the Microsoft Clarity Ambassadors program. Which, has been a very interesting journey. Like, I got started, working with Microsoft Clarity about almost 2.5 years ago now at Measure Summit. I did a talk about Clarity.
Yeah, absolutely.
2.5, yeah.
The funny fact is I know Microsoft Clarity since the first beta release. It was in December 2018.
Wow!
And I present in one of my Italian talk because I talk about the CRO, and so Microsoft Clarity the day before the event released this new project, these new services, and so I talk about the Clarity since December 2018.
And it was a very different platform back then.
Absolutely.
What was Clarity like back then? Do you remember? It was like...
Yeah, it was really interesting because the approach was with the session recording, the heat maps, but they integrated some things about A/B test.
Okay.
But they could some feature.
And I heard, like, back then, a lot of people had complaints with Clarity because it was, like, slower and it caused some, like, speed issues and it was a little clunkier. And then about 3 years ago, they did the rebrand and they really set up. And one of the things that I really like about that team is that it's, like, a really... startup,
they push a lot. They push every single month. They push another idea, another feature, another improvement, another connection with the other services. So it's increasing how in the last months they completely increased the number of the services, the feature. And I talk in this event, Super Week, with some new features about AI citation, AI visibility.
And so what are those new features? I know we saw them in the ambassadors program, but tell the listeners a little bit about like what's kind of coming out with Clarity.
Yeah, the thing is, Clarity is, as you probably know, is a software that you can handle the heat map, the session recording in a legal way, because there is something similar with the consent mode. So you can grab some information in an anonymous way for the heat map, not for the session recording, but for the heat map, yes. And so the amazing thing is Microsoft has the Copilot services, and the Copilot is integrated directly in these services, so you can just to ask with Copilot, hey, summarize this session recording, and so it's an amazing insight that you can find in this. But the crazy thing is about the AI visibility and the bot is that the last release they released 2 weeks ago, probably 10 days ago, and the thing is. The traffic on your website is not just by human, as you know, is by bot, but there are 3 types of bot. There is the good bot, there is the malicious bot, this bad bot.
Get out of there.
Yeah, go away. And there is the new categories, the degree bot, and actually there is the AI. Bot. So the AI agentic, but the AI crawling on your website or directly in a specific file. So the thing is, Clarity is in technical ways a JavaScript. So in JavaScript services. So is run by the client side. So it's the browser that activated the Clarity. And the thing is, if that JavaScript doesn't activated by the user, by the browser, or by whatever going to the website. The Clarity missed that information. Clarity has GA, as whatever other advertising pixel. And the thing is, Microsoft Clarity understand this and thinking, oh, what about to look outside the client world and go to the server-side world. In the server-side, we have the logs. So Clarity go to a partnership with the CDN, like Cloudflare, like other CDN. And so with this CDN, Clarity can grab the information about the log, and so can understand what is the crawler, the AI activity that requests some files directly with the server, and put together the information in the same dashboard. And so the thing is, now you can have the information that the Google Analytics or the other tools don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing thing.
It's been very interesting seeing how they've developed, because they're very, Clarity is very community oriented, right? Like they come to me, they say, can I get your opinion on like what people will care about, what they don't care about, And because they're doing that, they're able to pull in these things that like kind of other tools aren't really doing, right?
Yes,
which
absolutely.
is really cool. And I've seen them scrap projects that they're working on because we have said, who cares about that, right? And they're like, oh, okay, they don't care about that, right? Which I think is a nice approach for the community. But it's also really interesting, like kind of seeing these different dashboards pop up, or these different tabs pop up, because you're kind of like, okay, you're doing that now, and now it's a tab, and then here's a tab. So it'll be interesting to see as they grow and as they develop out further, how they kind of integrate it into a system that feels cohesive.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. They integrated the other services like Google Ads, Microsoft Ads, and there are a lot of integration. The thing is, they put that data directly in a specific dashboard in Microsoft Clarity, and try to join the type of data with the Clarity data. So if you, for example, connect directly the Google Ads campaign, Clarity can understand that session recording is by that specific campaign ads. And so you can go to the deep with the heat map for that specific segment, and with the session recording also. So it's the great approach for in my opinion. I remember in the first release, they have not the same way. They connect the data and try to aggregate the data in a different way with some custom dimension and something. And it doesn't work because probably there are too much technical step to do to connect that data. But now is completely easily way. So
smart events, and I mean they really spend a lot of time on like trying to make it very for the simple user. One thing that I definitely would like to see is kind of like a broader API where we can grab that data and do whatever we want with it, but it's kind of like a little bit hidden right now. But I'm sure as if they go the community oriented route, I think that's an area that they can that we're saying, do this, help us, give us an API, push this data into something.
Create the MCP server. They released the MCP server after some requests.
Definitely. So in terms of all the features, so we have the AI visibility, which they're working on, or they just released, and then we saw very recently they. In a couple versions back, they had the campaign releases as well, and then we had smart events and funnels and all this stuff. So they're just kind of like packing that in. But one of my favorite features, and one of the reasons that I like them the most, like their attitude the most, is the slang, man. It's because the Copilot, because it's like, I feel like there's not enough fun that happens, and like it was such like a pointless investment other than like let's just have fun, and I enjoy that kind of stuff, So, where do you hope kind of the tool kind of goes from here? Like, is there specific places that you think that Clarity can kind of improve upon?
For me, Clarity is the complementarity analytics tool. If you do analytics. So if you use GA, Google Analytics, or whatever other tools, the Microsoft Clarity give you the another type of data. So it's a completely complementarity with the other. So in my opinion, for my clients, I always use Clarity as the other tools. And if you are technical enough, you can create some custom parameters in Clarity and create more join data with the other analytics tool. And so you can create some new segmentation in Clarity, or you can export the data through the API. There are some limitations at the moment in the API, but it's a great opportunity to aggregate the information and have a new vision of the data.
Yeah, I think like one of the most valuable things is to take that Clarity data or even like the session recording that a certain user had, right? An anonymous user had, and then push that downstream to something else that you can visualize, or like understand further down the funnel. Obviously compliance and making sure that everything is consent based, but you can really like, if you wanted to send, the Clarity session URL down to, when a form is submitted into, CRM, like Salesforce or something, and then you have kind of that session that led to that form submit, right? Which, if that person turns into a large sale, you have kind of that pathway to analysis there. But I think sending custom dimensions in was always really valuable, and like blending it too with one of the things that like I really enjoyed doing when I was first getting my feet wet in Clarity, and I still do it, but is like when you're using an A/B testing software, sending the unique variation down to Clarity, and then you could have your heat maps right there because they have the compare feature.
Absolutely. You can summarize the session recording with the A test and the B test. So it's a pretty amazing tool, and the insane part of it is completely free.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. It's like it's one of those. It's like I would call Clarity kind of like the bass guitar of analytics software, where like bass guitar is like if you just think about like playing bass guitar, it's very easy to like just pick up. Right? Because there's 4 notes, and like you really just play, like you can play just really simple things and get like it fits into the song, right? But it's to master bass guitar is very, very difficult because the complexity just becomes really, really, like you can do a lot with the different notes, right? And so it's like, I would say it's probably the easiest to get in there and just like understand the key concepts of what it does, but then once you customize it more and send custom information in, you can client IDs, unique IDs, right? Like whatever you want.
Whatever ID.
Whatever ID, you can get very powerful.
Absolutely.
Do you find yourself, doing mostly your own analysis with it, or are you using Copilot to summarize things?
We use both. It's dependent by the task, by the analysis. We use Clarity for our case study, in our event. We have an event in Italy. The name is GA Summit, but it's not for Google Analytics. It's for a governance analytics summit. And we use a case history where thanks to Clarity, the clients, it was a luxury fashion clients, know why the US market has some problem with a specific product, analyzing the session recording and the funnel path directly with Clarity. So it's an amazing opportunity to go inside with the other type of data that analytics services that doesn't have. So it's a great opportunity. So my best advice is try it.
Yeah.
And put yourself in the dashboard and try to analyze that type of data, because
when you approach, like, you know, the tools that are in there, do you find yourself going to certain, like AI visibility is its own thing, right? Like, yep. That is, like, obviously very new and a new core feature that is, like, you know, you don't really find anywhere else. But, you know, there's always been, like, some controversy around, like, session recordings, right? Because of, like, oh, I have to go through this one-on-one, you know, and then with Copilot, you kind of get into, you know, like, oh, I can summarize these, but even in that, you're like, you know, how am I finding trends with the, like, is this truly trends, or is this still, like, not enough data to, like, really truly say that this is happening, right? Yeah. And, you know, it can give you friction analysis pretty quickly, but, like, just to understand where user drop off and stuff. Like, do you find yourself using one part of it more because you feel like it's more, like, it more fits kind of like how you approach analytics, or?
Yeah. The thing is, probably, as you know, you can prioritize. You can, add more priority. Add more priority.
Yeah, you did great.
To the recording through by parameter, by settings the event. And the thing is, my approach is linear. So with the summarize, I can understand what is the main problem, the main friction, and then I try to go deep through the parameters, and so can help me to identify more insight on the recorded session. So I use a lot of custom parameters. The problem, in my opinion, at the moment, the
room for
possibility to improve the clarity, there is no problem in clarity, just to improve, is the parameter as only a session scope.
Yep.
So if I need to, I don't know, a event scope, is a little problem. So if I need to understand the single product page, what happened, and the user go to a different product page, and I put some custom parameter, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So there is some trips, but there is no. It's not think to go in this way. So there are something that can be more useful, but it's free. So
I know. I mean, do you see kind of like, you know, there's always been this, like, you know, what is your stack, right? Like, what is the stack that you use? And then some businesses try to put all that stack into one, and then some businesses you're kind of like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then you have this complementary tool to other tools that you're using, right? Do you think tools now need to have everything, or are they just...
No, absolutely. I'm really... my approach is really to focus. Tag manager, just a management tag. Analytics tool, those analytics tool. CRO tool, session recording tool, it maps, focus on it. So I don't trust in enterprise tool that do everything. It means that specific feature probably is not the top on the market. So probably it's like the the last competitor of more clarity was Hotjar.
Yep.
Yeah, Hotjar when go to the market completely destroy the mouse click and then the other heat map because it was completely tire free with a lot of number of events, credits and so completely kill some competitors. And now Microsoft do the same. So the thing, in my opinion, is focus on it. So I have the stack. Of course, I have what's the name? The word is I'm in Google.
DIY or what?
No, I'm a bias. Bias because I'm a Google man. So my company is just in Google Stack. So for me, the tools are GTM, Google Analytics, and Looker Studio, BigQuery, Google Cloud, and all the Google Stack. But Microsoft Clarity, in my opinion, is the perfect services to be the complementary analytics tool for the data. So in my opinion, is if you ask me, this for me is the best. It's the best stack.
It is very, very helpful. I mean, I category coordinator between analytics and CRO, right? Yeah. And with conversion rate optimization, you're always looking for friction, right? What are users doing? Like, what are they, where are they getting stuck? And that's something that is, you can get some of that from Google Analytics, but it's much easier to kind of just see where users are getting stuck, right? And having that kind of, eye into, is there buttons on the page or is there things on the page that people think are buttons? Where are they getting mad? Where are they angry right now? Where do they want to punch your website? And I just there's a lot of value into just really visually seeing, and that's something that I feel like it's sometimes really hard for analytics companies and businesses and softwares to make things visually coherent, And so that's why kind of the heat maps and the session recordings and
works.
It works. I mean, it's so much easier. We used to make, dashboards in Looker Studio that I would literally put the page on the Looker Studio and say, here's 10 clicks that were here, just so that people could have a visualization of what's actually happening on their website. And that's something that having good heat maps and, having, the ability to actually look at sessions, you just don't want to get caught up on the single user, which is something's hard to do with, you see one user having a bad experience and you're like, this must be everybody, so.
Absolutely.
Well, Matteo, thank you.
The last thing, I don't know if I have a new time, but I want to talk about a new release feature about the AI. It was the brand agents. The Clarity and Copilot, they build this amazing thing. Actually, is at the moment is in beta release with a waiting list. And the thing is, you can have an AI conversational. With the backend data is just available on Shopify at the moment. But imagine that with this AI conversational based on Copilot, have all backend data of Shopify and the session navigation of the user through the Clarity.
Wow.
And this brand agent can the purpose of this agent, of course, the AI conversion is to push on the sales.
People into the funnel, right? Yeah, they say, I want this, and then boom.
Absolutely.
All right.